Mike Trout between innings.
Shortstop Anderson
I realized that there was plexiglass there.
Mike Trout having dad power is probably the most terrifying thing I've ever seen from a baseball player. Yeah, he's like Godzilla. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have so much to talk about from yesterday. Aside from Mike Trout being destructive with his added dad power, we have a rookie for the Royals almost throwing a no-hitter. The Dodgers moved Mookie Betts. We'll talk about what exactly that means. And then the Giants, they officially wiped their hands clean of one of the most popular players in the history of San Francisco Giants history. So without further ado, let's start talking baseball. And of course, you guys know what today is, but I know that most of you watch these videos to get an escape. I still want to acknowledge the fact that today is 9/11. Baseball brought the entire country together, and that's what I want to really showcase today. That we're all together, and we can be when we stand united. And I think, honestly, 2020, we could use a little bit of unity. But anyways, not going to get political. Baseball time. For the first time in 53 years, we have a 7-game series that is not in the playoffs. The Phillies and the Marlins will be playing each other 7 consecutive times. This is going to be a wild test for both teams because they're both in the same division and they're both going for a wild card spot. The Marlins, they get 4 RBIs from Starling Marte. And who gets the walk-off? None other than Jorge Alfaro.
Is in the air right field. It sends Harper back near the wall, and it's off the wall. And Starling Marte has tied the game with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Alfaro ground ball, banks it up the middle. In comes Marte, and so Marlins win.
Some of you might be thinking, why does it matter that Jorge Alfaro got the walk-off? Isn't he just a normal player for the Marlins? No. The Phillies traded Jorge Alfaro and Sixto Sanchez to the Marlins in exchange for JT Realmuto. So if the Phillies do not re-sign Realmuto, that is going to be one of the worst trades ever because Sixto, he is legit. He looks like the real deal. And then Jorge Alfaro, he is pretty serviceable as a backstop. So the Marlins, with that W, are now just a half game back of the Phillies. Just insane. Hunter Renfroe and Brandon Lau show up for the Tampa Bay Rays with 3 RBIs, but the Red Sox are able to top that as Bobby Dahlbeck hits yet another home run. But first, Rafael Devers had to go yard. I'm going to go ahead and deem them the double Ds. You have Devers and Dahlbeck. I think that they are going to wreak havoc on the league for the next 5 to 6, maybe even 10 years if they can stay healthy. Devers is hitting .340 in his last 15 games, and then Dahlbeck has a home run in 5 consecutive games. I'm telling you, they are ahead of schedule. They were not supposed to be this good considering they lost pretty much their entire pitching staff. Chris Sale is going to be back in 2021. Eduardo Rodriguez is going to be back. Maybe they sign a few guys or they call up Jeter Downs. I'm telling you, the Red Sox might be playing around with something special. You guys are seeing it right here. Josh Reddick is heartbroken. Yes, he is heartbroken that the Astros are not winning games. Well, you know what, Josh? I'm sure that baseball is a whole lot harder when you don't know what's coming. I'm sorry, I had to get that in there because he said it, not me. Sean Manaea took a perfect game into the 6th inning, and then Matt Olson won the game with a 2-run home run in the bottom half of the 6th. The A's get a 3-1 victory and now have the biggest division lead in all of Major League Baseball. But I guess the question still remains. If you are a baseball purist, you know that the Astros are not scrubs. They're missing a lot of pieces. Who do you think is the better team? Let me know in the comment section down below. The A's or the Astros? Who would you take in a 7-game playoff series if they played each other?
Today, Walsh drives one out to right field. Gallo is going to watch this one go. Big fly for Jared Walsh. Field, the 3rd. That is hammered out to left field. What were you saying? That's his 2nd in Texas. And it extends the Angels' lead to 4-1. He went down and got that one.
Lower part of the strike zone.
Oh boy, here we go. Dad power. Mr. Mike Trout is back at it yet again. Also, Jared Walsh, he hits a home run. I told you guys, Jared Walsh is going to be someone that you have to pay attention to because he had 60-plus home runs the last 2 minor league seasons combined. If he can do that on a major league level, watch the heck out as Mike Trout hits his league-leading 16th home run as ace Dylan Bundy. You have to call him an ace at this point. He goes 7 innings, actually 7 and a 3rd inning. I want to make sure that I get all of it. He only allows 2 earned runs and has 12 strikeouts. This team is the most confusing team I may have ever seen in my entire life. Mike Trout is leading the league in almost everything. You get a surprise ace in Dylan Bundy, so you win that trade, and you signed Anthony Rendon. Yet they've had a really tumultuous 2020. Either way, I think they have a pretty good core going into next year, same like the Red Sox. So if they're not going to do it this year, I know a lot of weird things have happened. I think they're going to be fine going forward. But then again, I said that before the season started. Who knows? You guys saw by the title, the Dodgers did move Mookie Betts, one of the best, if not the best defensive right fielder in all of baseball. I think that you can argue Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, and Joey Gallo are by far the best defenders out in right field. They moved him to second base, and they put Kike Hernandez in right field, which to me doesn't make sense because Kike Hernandez is a second baseman, and then Mookie Betts is the best right fielder. So why would you change them? Because Kike can play second? I don't understand that one bit, but apparently Mookie Betts actually came to Dave Roberts, the manager, and said, hey, look, we might need this in the playoffs where we have to shuffle around the outfield. Put me at second base so I can get my reps. So I tip my cap. But it didn't really work out as the Diamondbacks won 5-2. Madison Bumgarner tossed 5 innings, only allowed those 2 earned runs versus the old rival, the only player that they were missing, Yasiel Puig. That would have been a lot of fun to watch. Maybe Madison Bumgarner doesn't hate Yasiel Puig as much because he's no longer on the Giants. Who knows? Freddie Freeman wants an MVP, and he wants it bad. He has yet another 2 home run game. He's now up to 42 RBIs on the season, and he's hitting .333 with the plus 1,000 OPS. Acuna and Dansby Swanson also go off. They add themselves to the home run mix. These guys are incredible. They win 7-6 over the Washington Nationals. Trey Turner has been on fire. He is trying everything. But if you pitch Austin Voth, you have to just expect to lose the game. He started off kind of nice, but since then, it has been a downward spiral. He's giving up anywhere from 4 to 5, 6, 7 runs every single time he goes out there.
Look at that swing. Franco launches it into deep left center field, and that is gone. He's swinging, and there's a line drive, and on the ground to Mondesi. And Brady Singer has 7 hitless innings.
Oh my gosh, Brady Singer is going to be a headache and a thorn in my side for the next 10 years. I see a mini Zach Greinke in this kid, and he proved it yesterday by dominating the Cleveland Indians 8 innings, 1 hit, 8 strikeouts, does not allow any runs as the Royals offense eats alive the Indians pitchers. Oh man, Michael Franco is having a great 2020. Mondesi is starting to come around. He's hitting .308 in his last 7 games. The Indians go from first place to 1.5 games back in a flash. They're now on a 3-game losing streak. To be honest with you guys, I took the day off yesterday. I kind of felt like we were going to lose. I went to Teppanyaki. I had a great night regardless. I don't care. Actually, I do care a lot, but I'm glad I wasn't watching that game. It was awful. GG Royals fans, you win the series. You guys played really well. I can't take anything away from you. The Reds come out swinging. They go up 3-0 real quick on the Chicago Cubs, but Sonny Gray has a 2nd consecutive blow-up after the Cubs pretty much get everyone on the offense involved. They win 8-5 after Nico Horner drove in 3 RBIs. You have Contreras, Rizzo, and Happ all with 20-plus RBIs on the season now after that game. I mean, the Cubs can be sneaky at times. If you can get good starts from Yu Darvish, and if you can get sneaky ones from Alec Mills, and if John Lester can be as good as he was to start the season, I think that the Cubs can make some noise, and they have to do this repeatedly for them to prove that to me. So what do you make of the Cubs? If you're a Cubs fan out there, do you think that Chris Bryant and Javier Baez are holding the team back? Do you think that you should even re-sign Chris Bryant because he's barely hitting 200? There's a lot of question marks surrounding Chicago and the Cubs right now. The Giants have DFA'd and released Pablo Sandoval, the end of yet another era. In 2019, Pablo Sandoval actually had a pretty decent year. Now, unfortunately, the Giants do lose yesterday, so I think this might be the curse of Pablo Sandoval. Chris Paddock, he had to leave in the 2nd after a sprained ankle, but the Padres, they still came in clutch. Moreland drives in 2. Machado continues his MVP campaign with his 13th home run and 38th RBI, and then Jose Oña hits his 1st home run. Now, real quick, I do want to shout out Manny Machado one more time because he will be getting MVP votes. Maybe not 1st place, maybe not 2nd place, but 3rd place I think is going to be owned by Manny Machado. He is dominating this year. He is back to Orioles Manny, which is crazy because he's back to Orioles Manny, yet he's the 2nd best player on that team. That's how good Tatis Jr. is. The final games from yesterday, we have a doubleheader coming from the Cardinals and the Tigers. The Cardinals steal game number 1 pretty easily as Yadier Molina homers for his Puerto Rican hero, Roberto Clemente. He was wearing number 21. The Cardinals hit 5 home runs, and they hand the Tigers their second consecutive loss in which they lost by 10 or more runs. The day before, it was 19-0. But in game number 2, I think the Tigers said, enough is enough. We are putting our cleat down. Jameer Candelario, who is having a breakout 2020, one of the most underrated players in all of baseball. He wasn't having it. He goes 3 for 3 and hits his second home run of the day because he hit one in game number 1. It just didn't really mean much because they got mollywopped. He's hitting .333 with 28 home runs and a .979 OPS. And then on top of that, Victor Reyes collects yet another 3 base hits. The Tigers, just like a lot of bad teams in baseball, might be ahead of schedule. All right, everyone. Well, that is going to do it for today's MLB recap. Nothing really crazy happened because we only had a few games. Usually I have 18 to 20 games to recap, but today it was a little bit more manageable. So let me know what you think of the Astros kind of complaining that nothing is going their way. We have Mookie Betts at second base, and then the Red Sox, the Tigers, a lot of other pretty poor teams that were supposed to be bad in 2020 are playing above average. So let me know what you guys think of all that. And again, stay safe out there. Never forget and enjoy this day in MLB history.
2-1 pitch from Shaw.